Hey Joyce, are you there? I'm really sorry to drop this news on you all of a sudden, but my sister is going to be staying with us for a while from this weekend. So, if you could help me get things ready for her before she arrives, I would really appreciate that.
Wait a second, you mean that your sister is going to be coming to stay with us this weekend?
Yeah, I actually just heard that this was happening from my mom not that long ago. I guess that Mom and my sister Beth had been talking about this for a while, but my mom never said anything to me about it. But I guess that Beth is pregnant and she wants to have the kid back home. So that's why she's coming back.
I didn't even know that your sister was pregnant. When did that happen? And why are you just finding out about all of this now?
I don't know, but I certainly didn't know that she was pregnant either. In fact, I had to kinda push Mom to give me the whole story. But she just told me that you and I should be grateful to my parents for letting us live with them even though we don't have any sons. So I just really don't know what to do at all. This is a lot to take in all at once.
I had no idea that that's how your mom felt about us living here.
I know, and I just want to say that I'm really sorry for how my family acts sometimes. But anyways, my mom hid this from us well, and now we can't really say no. So, anyways, if you could just please get ready to live with my sister for a few months, I think we'll just have to grit our teeth and bear through.
Yeah, of course. A few months isn't that bad. Besides, you must be pretty excited to get to see your sister after so long, right? Just please let me know if there's anything I can do around the house to make things easier on everyone.
Thank you so much for understanding, Joyce. I knew that you would, but I'm just sorry that my mom is always running the house like this. I just wish that she would have given us even just a little more heads up that this was going to be happening. Did you know that she wasn't even going to tell you? She demanded that I do it. I can't believe that she would really try so hard at hiding something like this from you and I. And then after all that, she can't even tell people this is happening herself.
Well, there's really not much that can be done about that now, right? Besides, I'm pretty sure that your mom just doesn't like me. I mean, I don't even think that we've said a word to each other for the past month or so.
Wait a second. You're telling me that you and my mom haven't talked at all to each other in the past month?
I mean, when you're in the room, we'll maybe exchange just the bare minimum of words. But we never say anything to each other at all when it's just us in the house. In fact, your mom can't even look me in the eye. I'm sure that we basically just end up avoiding each other all day until people come back home.
And this has been going on for at least a month, if not longer? I had no idea that that's how you and my mom interacted.
Well, I just worry that your mom thinks of me as a failure. But I can't blame her. Even just last month, we went to see a doctor about why I can't get pregnant. Although I suppose I should be glad she didn't ask me about how it went.
Oh, come on, don't beat yourself up for that. We're still doing all that we can to try and have children. You have to stay strong and not lose heart. Don't give up, Joyce.
I know, but I also know that your mom is just always waiting for grandchildren. And we've been married 2 years now and still nothing, so I just can't blame your mom for being upset after all this.
Joyce, what are you saying? Don't talk like that. The only people who need to be concerned about you getting pregnant is you and I.
Oliver, do you really mean that?
Of course I do. You shouldn't be letting what my mom has to say on the matter affect how you feel about things. I know that we're both doing our best and even seeking treatment for this issue. So I don't think that my mom has any right to comment on us having kids at all.
Thank you so much for saying that, Oliver. That really does mean a lot to me, you know?
Well, I wanted to ask you how you feel about taking a break on the treatments while my sister is here. I know that they can be rough on you and leave you pretty tired. Maybe we can just take a break on trying for a while? After all, it's probably not to work if we're always stressing your body out.
Actually, now that you say that, the doctor did ask if I wouldn't consider taking a break from the treatment as well. He said that it would help my body settle down and de-stress a little bit for the future. I guess he had a lot of success with patients by trying this method out.
Great, then it's settled. We'll take a break and stop worrying about trying for kids for a while. And I just want you to know that my mom and I are going to handle taking care of my sister, so don't worry about anything. I don't want you having to deal with any undue stress.
Hey, Joyce, what is the matter with you, huh? I am looking through these maternity photos that I asked you to take of me, and they all look like crap. How do you expect me to be able to post any of these to Instagram, huh? I thought you used to have your own photo studio before you married my brother, right? That's the whole reason why I hired you in the first place. But when I had my studio, I also worked with a lot of expensive and specialized equipment to get those photos you saw. I think for what I was working with that the photos actually turned out really well. Whatever. These photos aren't as good as I thought they would be, but what else can I expect from someone as useless as you? I shouldn't have asked a broken woman like you to help me with something like this. Excuse me? And just what is that supposed to mean? I mean that you're so useless you can't even take good photos of me, but you probably just can't do it because I'm pregnant and you're not. You're just useless, and I know from my mom that you can't have any kids. So that's why you can't take any good pictures of pregnant women either. I really don't think that one has anything at all to do with the other, and I think you looked great in those photos. So I think you should apologize for your mean comments towards me. I haven't done anything rude to you to merit being talked to like that. Oh, just shut up, you barren old cow. I know that you've been getting treatment for your infertility for the past 2 years. And yet even then you still can't have a child. You're just a broken woman who can't even perform her basic biological functions. But that isn't true. That's not even close to what the doctors told me. They performed lots of tests on me and said that my body is perfectly capable of having a baby with the right support. And yet you're still not pregnant after all this time. Sounds to me like the doctor was just too polite to tell you the truth like I just did. Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about at all. Oh, come on. You really think I can't tell that you're jealous of me for being pregnant? It's obvious from these terrible photos you took. If you weren't so insecure about it, I'm sure that you could have managed to take actually decent photos. But I should have known better than to ask you anyways. And just what makes you think that I'm jealous of you just because you're pregnant? I don't have any kind of jealousy or resentment towards you at all. In fact, I'm happy that you're going to have a kid. Oh man, are you just trying to lie to me, or is this how you try to fool yourself as well? You can't have a kid, and you know it. Besides, you don't know that kids choose their parents. So if you're not pregnant by now, it's because no child wants to have you as their mother. Are you out of your mind? Now you're just being ridiculous. I don't care what someone like you has to say to me. Just retake the pictures of me, got it? And make sure to actually take them well this time. And of course, I won't be paying for this session either since we're family. I assume you don't have anything to say to that, yes?
Hey Joyce, I really am so sorry for the way that my sister was talking to you. I mean, to think that she would just ask you to take those photos and then refuse to pay you.
No, it's okay, Oliver. I actually had a lot of fun picking up a camera again. It had been so long that I didn't even mind not being paid. But I guess Beth had some worries about how they would play on her social media, and so that's why she had me redo them.
Well, I really don't think their poor performance online had to do with the quality of the photo. Did you know that when she posted them, she captioned them with "as taken by my barren, childless sister-in-law"?
She did what? Did she really post those pictures with that caption?
Yeah, and that was all she had to say about you. She didn't say anything nice or gracious, just insulted you. So I don't think it was the photos prompting people to avoid interacting with those posts.
But who in the world would post something that makes themselves look that bad?
I know, right? Then she went on to say in another post that her whole coming back home to give birth was being ruined because you were there. She was writing about how jealous you're acting and how it's making things very difficult for her. I guess maybe she forgot that I also follow her and would see all these posts that she's making.
Wow, I can't believe that she would actually write all of that. It's so much.
I know. And I know that I was the one to ask you to deal with my sister for the time being, but at this rate, I think I'm the one that's going to snap. So, I'm sorry to spring this question on you so suddenly, but what do you think of moving out with me?
Oliver, are you sure about this? You really want to move out of your mom's house?
I just can't stand being in a house where you get treated this way. In fact, I was actually offered a job at my company's HQ.
You mean that they're finally giving you that promotion that you've had your eyes on for all this time?
Well, I guess I just say how hard you were trying when it came to having kids, so that helped push me to want to work harder. And I guess now that all that hard work is paying off, and that's why I was offered this new position.
Oliver, that's amazing! Congratulations, you made this happen!
Well, not only that, but there are quite a few transfers from my division to HQ, so I actually know quite a few people there already. In fact, one of the people over there now actually had a similar problem as us, and now he has 3 kids. He told me that if we move out there, he has a great doctor who he could introduce us to.
That would be amazing.
Apparently, the medical facilities out there are just leagues beyond what we could find in this state. So I think that's a lot of good reasons to move. But for now, let's keep you off the treatments so that when you start again, it'll be a fresh start in a new place.
That sounds perfect, Oliver. I'm so happy that this is happening.
Perfect. Well, let's try and get our bags packed and ready as soon as we can. I don't want to make you spend another second in this house.
Thank you so much, Oliver, but there are still some things that I need to wrap up here. So, you go ahead and start moving, and I'll catch up to you when I can.
Wait, what? What do you mean you still have things to wrap up here?
Well, we can't just leave your mom to take care of your sister when she's about to give birth. After all, your dad is practically bedridden, and your mom is always complaining about some part of her body hurting. So if you leave, then I'll be the only one here capable of giving your sister the help that she needs.
You mean the reason you want to stay behind is all to help my sister?
I know that I may have problems with the mother, but I can't just risk leaving the baby to your parents and sister until it's out safe and sound.
Joyce, I don't know what to say. That's just incredible.
But I'm really happy that you've got this promotion and that we're going to move out. But I just need to finish my duties around here first. Then we can move away and live together in a new place and start a new chapter of our lives together.
Yes, of course. Just please remember to take care of yourself and don't push yourself too hard.
Beth, why did you lock me out of the house? Let me back in right now. Oh, just shut up already. Don't you know that you're not wanted around here? I know that you've already driven my brother to abandon you. So I don't know why you think that you can stay in this house with my parents and I. I'm just glad that my brother was smart enough to leave you before you had kids. But now there's no one here to protect you, and you don't have a place in this family anymore. And since you haven't had any kids either, there's no point in keeping you around at all. So why don't you just beat it? That's really the reason why you've locked me out of the house? Don't you realize that without your brother around, I'm all that you have, really? How are you going to have a safe home birth with just your parents around? Are you trying to tell me that you're staying at home for my sake? Well, if that's the case, then I don't need you. You probably just screw up or get me and my baby sick somehow. I don't want you anywhere near me when it's time for me to have my baby. Do you understand me? You think that I'm going to get you sick? How would that work? Oh, please, you don't think I don't know that this fertility problem of yours isn't just a symptom of something much bigger? I'm sure you have some kind of horrible disease. And it's just a matter of time until you spread it to other people in this house. Are you even reading what you're typing to me at this point? I know it's true because my mom told me so. She told me that we can't keep someone like you around any longer, so why don't you do us all a favor and go? Are you sure about this? Because if this is really what you want, I have no problem going. After all, Oliver only left because he was promoted to a new office, and so we're having to move. So after I leave, we are never coming back again. I'm really not sure what you're going to do since Oliver and I were paying for the utilities around here. What are you talking about? You mean my brother finally got promoted at work? That's right, and then he suggested that he and I move out of here, but I told him I would stay behind to make sure you had your child safely. But since you seem to think I'm some disease-ridden ball of germs, I'll just take my leave. Are you telling me that my brother didn't decide to finally leave you? That's right. Your brother and I are still together and very much in love. But that can't be right. I didn't know that was what was going on. Well, it is. Good luck having the kid with just your parents there to help. And getting driven to your appointments and getting driven back, you know, all of the things that I was doing for you. You think my parents are really that useless? That shows what you know. They'll be able to help me out just fine. So go, leave, and never ever come back. Okay then, just don't say I didn't warn you. A few weeks after that, Beth sent me distressed messages begging for Oliver and I to go back and help her with her birth. Apparently, she didn't know that both her parents had already given up their driver's licenses in their old age and were incapable of driving her where she needed to go. Last I heard, she had to take a taxi to drive her all the way to the hospital when she realized her parents were also completely unprepared for a home birth as well. She was really in bad shape by the time she reached the hospital. After she managed to safely have her child, the doctors scolded her on not having been more prepared to have her child. Beth tried calling her husband to come and pick her up from the hospital, but he wasn't answering his phone and had apparently fled the country. Now Beth lives at home with her parents, who take care of the baby as best they can, while Beth goes out and works to try and support all four of them. As for Oliver and I, we've been enjoying our new lives in a new city and blocked all of his family so we would never be dragged into their drama again. I met with the doctor recommended by Oliver's colleague and feel like the tension that may have kept me getting pregnant for so long has finally been relieved.
Hey there, Hilda. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Oh, hey, Michelle. Yeah, I think the last time we saw each other was 2 years ago at the school reunion.
Well, you should know that I've seen you plenty of times since then.
Oh, really? Well, you should have said something to me. I would have loved to catch up. Does that mean that you still live here now? I thought you still lived back home.
No, I finally moved away when I learned there wasn't anyone worth marrying there. But I have noticed you walking around town clinging to someone's arm. Why didn't you tell me that you got married?
Sorry, what do you mean? I'm not following you.
Oh, come on. There's no point in playing stupid with me. I know that you're married, and I find it unacceptable.
Hold on a second. Let's set aside marriage entirely. Why would it even matter to you whether or not I was?
Oh, come on. Can you really not guess at all why I might care? You remember how much better looking I was than you in school, right? I was prom queen, and all of the boys wanted to have me back then.
Right. I guess now that you mention it, I do remember that you were quite popular back then.
No duh, I was popular, and I should have been the first one out of us to get married, but all the good boys back home didn't want anything to do with me after high school. Not only that, but it was clear that everyone there was way beneath me anyways.
Well, I guess it's good to know that you're still as confident as ever, Michelle. You certainly did have a high opinion of yourself back in high school, too, as I seem to recall.
Well, anyways, I think that I owe you an apology of sorts.
Sorry, you want to apologize to me. I'm not sure what you would even say sorry for.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry for stealing your husband. In fact, I know that he picked you up from the maternity clinic, right? I guess that means that you two are having a baby soon. But I'm still not going to let you get away with getting married before. And so, that's why I stole your husband from you. So don't worry, I did reach out, just not to you.
I'm sorry, I really just have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I'll tell you. I was talking to your husband and told him that he should leave his wife and marry me instead. And that's why I want to apologize to you.
Michelle, I'm sorry, but I still just am not following you at all. What husband are you talking about?
Why are you still playing dumb? I know all about your handsome husband that you were trying to hide from me. You clearly weren't going to introduce him to me, so I had to take matters into my own hands. But don't you worry. Things went just fine for me, and now he's all mine. I'll even be sure to pay you off for our affair. So how about you just sign the divorce papers and hand them over already?
Look, Michelle, I only have a boyfriend, okay? I'm not married.
What are you talking about? Of course you have a husband! Stop trying to lie to me. You know that I've been able to steal your men from you ever since we were in school together. Just accept the fact that I've done it again. And also accept that you'll have to raise that baby of yours all by yourself.
Okay, well, I think I understand what it is that you're trying to tell me with all of this. But I'm not sure that I actually understand what any of it means. But if I have this straight, you're telling me that you started an affair with a man who you know is married, and that you want to marry this man, and that's why you've told him to divorce his wife for you. And then you messaged me to tell me all of this because you think this man is my husband.
That's what I've been telling you this whole time.
Right. I see. Well, I don't know how else to tell you this, but I'm not pregnant?
Wait, what? What do you mean that you're not pregnant?
Not only am I not pregnant, but I'm not even married. Again, I have a boyfriend, but I don't have a husband.
Oh, come on! When are you finally going to stop with all of these lies? You just can't accept the fact that I've beaten you and that your husband chose me over you.
No, I really am telling you the truth right now. I did go to a maternity clinic with a guy. But tell me, was the guy you saw me with about 6 feet tall with a mole under his right eye?
Yes, that's exactly the guy that I saw you with. And he's your husband. He is your husband, isn't he?
Now that man is actually just the director of the maternity clinic, which is where I just so happen to work.
Hold on a second. That guy is just the clinic director.
That's right. And that guy is actually married, but he's not married to me. So I really don't know how else to say this, but I think there's been a big misunderstanding here.
No, this can't be happening. How can that guy not be your husband?
Well, he's not my husband because we're not married. Because, again, I'm not married.
Well then, that means that I've won. I've been right this whole time. I was always going to get married before you. Not only that, but I'm going to get married to a doctor who owns his own practice. Oh, this is way better than I could have hoped for. I get to be married before you, and to a doctor of all people. It might not have been the way I originally planned it, but it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, I guess you really are going to get married before me, aren't you?
That's right. But at least you can find solace in the fact that you didn't get abandoned by your man.
I mean, I think that you might have more things to worry about than just floating to me.
And why is that? Because I had to have an affair before this man would have married me? Who cares about having to pay for anything when I'm going to be with a doctor? I was already planning on paying you off for the affair with who I thought was your husband. So this is nothing to me. And now, I'm going to be the happiest woman in the world and never have to work another day in my life.
Uh-huh. Well, good luck with all of that, I guess. I was actually going to quit my job at the clinic at the end of the month anyways. I was going to try and find work in another place. So, I don't think that you'll be seeing much more of me.
Oh no. Are you being serious? That really is too bad. Ha ha ha. I might have let you try and squeeze my husband for some more pay or something if you had just been a little nicer to me.
Actually, I think that this is just all the more reason to leave my job. I don't want to get involved in this any more than I already have. So again, good luck with the marriage, I guess?
Hey there, Hilda. I was just wondering how your new job's going. Have you basically settled in?
There has been a lot of paperwork since I started here, but I have to say that I prefer it to the old place. Not to mention the raise that I got for working here.
Well, there you go. Sounds like things are going well for you. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about something.
Is it something that we should talk about over the phone?
No, it's not that, but I do have to send you a few photos that I'd like you to look at.
Well, that's fine with me, but is everything okay?
Well, I just know how we've been. Going out for about 6 months now. I thought that we should talk. I've hidden this from you for a while, but I think you should know that my parents are really rich.
Oh, really? Well, I appreciate the honesty with me.
I mean like tens of millions in assets rich. Dad and I actually work at the company that my dad manages. Take over the company after he steps down.
Wow, that's a lot of money. I was not expecting this. Although, you know what? It does explain some of the fancy brands you own and the nice watches you're always wearing.
Well, my dad always told me to always dress up or, at the very least, put on a nice watch. But that's not the only thing. You see, the reason I didn't tell you any of this is because my parents are scared that a woman would take advantage of me for my family's money. So that's why I lied about who I really was to you for all this time.
I can see that now. Oh, but it's not like we bonded over material things. We just had a lot in common.
I know. And that's exactly why I know that I can trust you. You never even once asked for me to pick up a bill. You're a hard-working nurse who makes her own through the world, and I respect it a lot.
Well, thank you. That really does mean a lot from you now that I know the truth.
But anyways, I know that we also both had in our profiles that we were looking for something long-term, right?
Yes, but what makes you say that?
Well, that's one of the condos that my dad owns. Costs about $2 million, but he told me that he's willing to let us move into there.
This is, wow, this is a lot to take in.
There's still more. Thing is, that my dad is quite sick. The doctors have only given a year, 2 at most, to live. So, basically what that means is that as his only son, I'm actually on the verge of taking over the company and all of his assets. I know this was going to happen one day, but it's never ever felt this real before. And the truth is that I need someone that I can trust with all of this, and that's why I'm saying all of this to you now.
Well, I really appreciate you talking to me about all of this. I mean, I'm shocked, but glad it's all out in the open.
Then I have one more thing to tell you. And I wouldn't be mentioning this if I really didn't think you might be the one. The other day, my dad gave me my inheritance early. He thought it would make things easier on the taxes when it came to, well, him passing.
Right, I've heard that you get quite a bit taken out for inheritance tax.
Yeah, but if he did it this way, he wouldn't have had to pay a cent. All I have to do is pay a cool $1 million now. I'll get all the inheritance tax-free.
I guess so. I don't really know as many details about that.
Well, the amount of money I got was in the millions. Although, because of the legal process, I probably won't be actually getting the money for another 6 months or so.
Wow. Well, look, Hank, I'm glad that you've told me about this, but those are numbers that I never even dreamed of having in cash.
I know, but here's what I want to ask you. Do you think I could borrow some money from you until I get my inheritance?
Wait, what? You want to borrow money from me?
Well, the thing is that until all these processes can take place, I still am just me. Besides, I'm going to need some money for the legal forms for all this. Well, I know that you make quite a bit as a nurse, right? Please, I promise that I'll pay you back in 6 months. This is for our future.
But I don't get it. Why do you need to borrow money from me to do this? But that's just it. I don't understand something like this. I don't really understand. Can I just ask you a couple of questions first?
What more do you need to know? I've already told you everything.
Well, you're telling me that your dad is sick and only has, at most, a couple of years to live, right?
That's right. It's something that no amount of money or doctors can cure.
Okay, well, do you know the name of what it is that your dad has?
What do you mean? Why would that matter?
Well, it's just that I am a nurse, and I do know a thing or two about diseases. So I was just curious about what it is that your dad has.
Oh, right. I actually don't know the name or anything like that, but I can ask my dad.
Of course. I only want to help. I guess you can call it my nurse's instinct.
No. I really don't think that's going to be necessary. I just need a little money to tide me over until my dad, until he's gone.
But you said that you were going to have to pay $1 million to somehow cancel out your taxes? I'm sorry, but I just don't have that kind of money.
Oh, I see. Well, okay. Maybe we should talk more about this in person. I'll see you later.
Hey there, Hilda. It's been a while.
And just when I thought I'd gotten rid of you.
Oh, well, I need to apologize to you.
Apologize to me for what?
I did it again. I stole another one.
Another one? What are you talking about? You stole something?
That's right. I stole your husband. I actually saw you two going on a date with each other about a year ago, and I remembered what you told me, that you had a boyfriend but weren't married. So anyways, I struck up a conversation with him after you'd got home for the night.
Oh, you mean you did that again?
And, well, we just hit it off.
I feel like I'm having some serious deja vu here.
I also heard that he's going to be the heir to millions any day now from his father. That's why I stole him from you. I know I messed up last time. This time it is your husband. But now all of his money is going to be mine.
I'm still not married yet, Michelle.
What? But he told me you two were married.
I actually did have a boyfriend about a year ago, but I broke up with him, and now I'm completely single.
Wait a second. You can't be serious about this. He told me that he was married to you, and that if he left you for me, that he'd have to pay when you sued him for his affair with me. And so he told me that before anything could happen and before he could get his money, he would need me to give him $500,000.
You mean that he told you all of that?
That's right. He told me everything.
And he told you about his sick dad too, I bet.
I knew it. I knew that he was your husband all along.
No, I'm afraid you're wrong about that as well. That man is my ex-boyfriend, and him and I broke up because about a year ago he started to stink of a scam.
A scam? What do you mean? I don't understand.
He told me about how he was so close to inheriting his father's business and wealth and assets and everything. He even promised me an amazing condo. He said that it'd only be a matter of time, 6 months at the most. But for some reason or another, he just needed to borrow $1 million from me. He told me that he couldn't go to his parents and they didn't have the money for him, and that he would need the money to avoid paying taxes on his inheritance. But when I asked him about his sick dad, he couldn't even tell me what it was that his dad was sick with. And when I asked him about the condo, he couldn't give me an address either. And he still couldn't give me a good reason for what it was that he needed so much money from me for. I started to get really suspicious, and so I decided to break things off with him.
But you mean, the money that he asked for, the $500,000 to break up with, was... But he told me that he was going to pay me back for all of that and more as soon as he got his dad's money by being free of you. Are you telling me that all of that was just a scam that he was running on me?
You didn't actually give him that much money, did you?
Of course I did. I was about to be rich. The whole reason I texted you in the first place was that I could try and rub it in your face, remember? He told me that if I gave him that money that it would be enough to settle the lawsuit that you'd file against him.
Well, try asking Hank yourself.
Hey, Hilda. He's not picking up my calls. What am I supposed to do? Where do you think he's gone?
He's probably run far, far away with all of your money by now.
But that can't be. That wasn't just from my savings. I took out a huge loan to be able to give him all that money. He told me that he'd be able to repay me back quickly. He told me to think of it as a tiny investment for a big payout.
I mean, I guess it was a big payout for him if you think about it. This is the second time that you've done this. Whatever happened with my old boss, anyways?
Well, his wife didn't want to divorce, and neither did he. But she did sue us both for the affair, and then I was told to never come around again.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you got the short end of the stick there.
And now you're telling me that I just had the money stolen from me again? But what about all the fancy cars that he drove? The clothes, the watch, everything? He looked totally rich.
Yeah, I mean, the more you think about it, the more it was always too good to be true.
But how could he trick me like that? I thought that we really had something. I thought that I'd finally stolen your husband away from you.
You really haven't changed at all, you know that?
But what am I supposed to do? I won't be able to pay a loan that huge. You have lots of savings, right? Lend me some money.
No, this is just ridiculous. You need to stop this and look at what you've done. I haven't stolen anything from you, and I'm not responsible for your sick bullying trip.
But please, 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 please. You have to help me.
I don't have to do anything. In fact, it sounds like you have much more serious things to be thinking about than coming to beg from me. After that, I blocked Michelle on everything. I actually heard at the class reunion where I had seen Michelle at that she borrowed money from a lot of different people. Apparently she didn't pay many of them back, and she slowly lost all her friends. So I'm sure that when she had to go to the police and describe what had happened to her, that it was quite the twist of fate for her. I have no idea at all what happened to her, or if she ever got out of her jam. If she did, I only hope it was through getting back at Hank somehow. But it really is none of my business.